child advocate attorney. I work with children in state custody. I work with children in special ed, on Social Security disability hearings. And what I was seeing is there were a lot of diagnoses of ADHD, of Asperger's, of pervasive developmental disorder. And it really started bothering me because many of these children would be diagnosed and then a recommendation for drugs. And I started bringing this to the court's attention. I didn't like it. I didn't really know what to do about it. And then the issue hit home. My own child at age 6 received the same diagnosis, ADHD, Asperger's, PDD, and I have to tell you, I didn't buy any of them. I just said, this just can't be. It just can't have that many diagnoses, can't have that many problems. And also, there were days when he was perfectly fine, even better than fine, and then other days he was miserable. And I said, something has to be triggering this child. And what we figured out, my husband and I, it took us about 3 years, that he was triggered by certain things he was eating. One of the things was just standard industrial wheat. It's very difficult for certain people to digest. What he could eat as an alternative is spelt, which was wonderful. That's why I started baking with it. Also artificial additives, artificial flavors, preservatives, all of that, we took it out of his diet, and literally he went from needing special services to being put in the gifted program. And he's now a very, very good student, studies, the top courses, organic chemistry, physics, calculus, Greek, and really nice kid and knows how to cook. But let me tell you, the thing he would say to me when we stopped giving him wheat, he got upset. He goes, Mom, I'm not going to have my favorite foods anymore. And I said, no, we'll get you something. And I went shopping and I found some spelt breads, and they crumbled, and he cried when he ate them. He was only 8 at that point. And I said, we can do better. So we started creating our own, and we've made the best tasting bread. I mean, it doesn't fall apart. It's totally kid friendly. It's delicious. We are here wanting to spread the word about spelt and create really good tasting spelt products, which we have done. But what we need is a ready supply of spelt. Now we can get spelt, but we have to get it from the Midwest, and we get it from other countries. But we know, based on studies that we've been participating in, is that spelt can grow in the Northeast, and it does, but in very small quantities. We are working with the University of Maine Extension Program, doing more spelt studies on the feasibility and the viability of growing spelt. We are in that second stage now, and we're looking to do additional studies with the same folks up at the University of Maine Extension Program to conduct a study on spelt again, but on the 2 particular varieties that we've worked with that we liked, and see where we go from there. That study then can in turn be turned over to farmers, and they can use this as a guidepost of whether they believe spelt will be a good crop for them, whether it's in Maine or in upstate New York or in Vermont. We will have the tools available for these farmers. So the great thing about bringing spelt closer to home is that we can try to reduce the cost of producing this grain. It's already a premium grain. Right now we ship it from far distances, so we would like to get it closer to home. We would increase the availability of the grain so that we're not always at a place saying how much spelt is being grown. Now the supply will be greater. And the other, of course, is to diversify the economy for the farmers. So they're not just reliant on either potatoes or a local wheat or something else. Here is a new grain, which is really an ancient grain, that's making a resurgence. So there are a number of costs involved in this research, including lease of land, purchasing the seeds, the payment for the research students who will be doing the research on this, travel, and some equipment costs. Of course, there'll be a few of our administrative costs in this as well, but we are keeping this in a very contained manner. Thank you for joining us with this project. It's a great one. It has many good purposes. One, you'll help the local economy, you'll help yourself with a better diet, you'll learn a little bit along the way, you'll get to taste some great products. So eat spelt, be spelt, and feel better than you ever felt. Thank you.